Hi guys, today I'm going to be talking about a children's book series plus an issue that I have. It's connected, don't worry. I just recently started reading the Worst Witch series, and obviously this is a children's, if you don't know anything about it, this is a children's book series. There are 8 books. They're written by Jill Murphy. She's written other children's books, like picture books, and she wrote and illustrated these. There's a lot of pictures. One every page or 2. But they're like half-page pictures. And I'm really liking it. I know that this is insane, crazy, horrible, but I had never ever heard of it before, like a couple of weeks ago. It was not the kind of book that my mom would have allowed in the house. But I am enjoying reading it now. One thing about me is I really dislike young adult, the genre. I just don't love reading young adult. I'll get into that later. But I love middle grade fiction. It's one of my favorite, or fantasy, one of my favorite things to read. To a certain extent, I'm discovering it for the first time, and I'm really enjoying myself. So just a little bit about this series. Most people have read it when they were a kid or know about it, but it follows a young girl, Mildred, who goes to a witch's school, and it's just about her experience there. I've read 4 of them so far. They're very fun. There's no villain, really. There's like a teacher who's really stern that she doesn't get along with, but it's just about her kind of messing up and fixing it. So there's not like a central character that, there's no fighting or anything. So it is definitely for younger kids. The writing style reads like, I would put this below Narnia. Younger kids could read this than could read Narnia, I think. Not to mention Narnia is quite a bit older, so it is more difficult to understand for kids, that are really young. The first one was published in 1974, so it's a little bit newer, quite a bit newer. And so it's a little bit easier to understand, and then the books are quite a bit shorter. The first 2 are under 100 pages. The third one is like 120 pages, and then the fourth one is 200 and something, and I think that's about as long as it gets, but I think the rest are about that long. So there's 8 in total, and they were published over a great span of years. First one is 1974, then 1980, 1982, 1993, 2005, 2007, 2013, and 2018. So a huge, and I can't really find a reason for that. My only thought would be that she likes to write and draw for fun, and she does this like when she needs a paycheck. They're very good, and they're very fun, but I mean, it can't take that long to write one of these books. So I think there has to be a certain I don't really need to type of attitude going into it. I just couldn't find why. It's like, why has it taken it, 20 years for these 8 books? I think she just has fun with it, and she just publishes one whenever she feels like it. She can do whatever she wants because she's sold over 5 million copies. So power to you, Jill. But yeah, the first 2 are very, very easy, very simple reads. I mean, I read the first 2, each one in under an hour. And so I think this would be good for, kids who are starting out chapter books. However, they might not be able to read all 8 very quickly. Like, they might have to wait a little while to read the last few since they're longer and might not be holding their attention as well. But the first 2 or 3 would be good for kids who are, reading chapter books. One thing I want to say before I get into it is, the reason I didn't really read a bunch of children's chapter books when I was a kid was I'm the youngest of a family of pretty prolific readers, and my sibling, who is just older than me, is 4 years older than me, so there's quite a big gap in our reading ability. And then I struggled a lot when I was learning how to read, a lot, and I did not read for fun until I was about 9. And at that time, I started reading older kids' books. The first books that I read for fun were the Spiderwick series. My sister got them for me for my birthday. I think it was my 9th birthday. And I read all of those. And that was like where it started. Then I read Harry Potter. Not all of them, obviously. And then I read the Warrior Cats books. And then the Deltora Quest series. The books I started reading after that were like Divergent, The Hunger Games, the later Harry Potter books, the Maze Runner books. Those were the books that I started reading, after which I would consider those to be young adult. I think they are considered to be young adult. And so even Narnia, I didn't read until I was like 18 or 19, because they had been read out loud to me before I could read. And so I knew the stories, and I was kind of like, why would I read those? So I didn't read them. I knew them. They had been read to me. So I guess that kind of counts. But even those were like below the reading level that I was like going to be reading once I started reading. So all that to say, I didn't read these. I think my older siblings read like the Boxcar Children books, which I'm assuming are for children because they're very small. And other smaller series books like that, I don't know if they were not in the house or if I just felt like I was too old for them or what, but I did not read books like that. So I'm loving going back and reading these kind of books. I'm reading Deltora right now. I'm reading the Warrior books right now. I'm reading new ones that I haven't read before that I'm really enjoying. And it's just a really fun time, and I'm like soaking it all up. And I kind of feel like I'm gearing up I want to be familiar with these books, so familiar with these books that when my kids are ready to read them, I'll be like, okay, I know which ones they'll be interested in. I know what their reading level will be like, and I can recommend and buy books for them, because I have read them recently. So I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait till my kids are old enough to read, and it's just another thing that we can share, and I'm really excited about it. That being said, I take big issue with every single person on this earth. No. If you go on a Goodreads and you look at The Worst Witch, I'll just say the first one. Okay. It has the most 5 stars, and then, it goes down in percentage from there. So yeah, people are giving it good reviews. However, it has 21,000 reviews. Oh, no. It has 21,000 ratings and 972 reviews for the first book. Not a single review that I read, which I read like 100, not a single one brought up, in my opinion, a legitimate reason for disliking this book. Which I don't want to... Okay, so it doesn't matter what the rating is. The books are doing great. Kids aren't reading the ratings anyway. But adults are reading the ratings. Parents are reading the ratings. Parents are choosing books. So overall, the first book has just a 3.9, okay? Which is fine, but it's not like that good for a kid's book. But parents, kids are going to libraries and looking at books and finding books themselves. But parents are buying books for their kids. Parents are often choosing which books to buy for their kids. Ratings matter. Ratings are for potential readers. Ratings are for parents of potential readers in these cases, or caretakers, or aunts, or uncles, or anybody, grandparents who are buying books for kids. Every single review that is a 3-star, there's a trillion 3-star reviews. Not a single one of them brings up a legitimate issue with the book as far as content goes. Every single one takes issue with how simplistic the story is, as well as many taking issue with how similar it is to Harry Potter, their issue being with this book, not with Harry Potter. First of all, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was published in 1997. This book was published in 1972. There were 4 books out in this series before Harry Potter was even close to being published, the first one. And the lore and everything is well established in the first book here. So it was established 20 years earlier. There are similarities between this and Harry Potter, but I don't want to talk on it because it doesn't matter. The similarities are very small. Here's what they are. It's in a castle. They ride broomsticks. They have a pet animal that is like with them all the time. They have classes. They have a potions class. They wear hats and cloaks and have a uniform. They're in a secluded place. That's about it. It's a boarding school. Pretty much it being a school where people are practicing magic is the similarity. Okay, beside that, everything is like just cultural. I mean, of course they use cauldrons. Of course they have hats. Of course they have broomsticks, whatever. All of that is like, that's just witches and wizards lore. This is nothing to do with Harry Potter at all. That's just basic lore. So anyway, I take issue with that. Obviously, I understand that this could have been inspirational for J.K. Rowling, but it's not similar in many ways. So that is separate, and I don't want to touch on it again, really, because they are so separate from each other. They are so different from each other, and they are both wonderful in their own right. Now, next thing is, just like I was saying before, so to touch back on the subject, a bunch of people gave it 3 stars, as I said. There are 2 types of 3-star reviews. Number 1 is they gave it 3 stars and they say it's amazing. Number 2 is they gave it 3 stars and they said it was, really simple. Let me just read. Overall, the story was cute, perfect for young kids not yet ready for Harry Potter, but honestly, I wasn't captivated by the story. 3 stars. 3 stars. Super cute and spooky without the scares. It's full of fun and magic, just perfect for younger readers. It was an engaging, albeit slight tale, 107 pages. 3 stars. 2 stars. Book is very simplistic but humorous. I probably would have enjoyed it more if I had read it as a small child. 3 stars. Would have loved this as a kid. Okay, obviously I know that 3 stars isn't like a bad rating. I understand that people will like, they want to leave 5 stars for like an amazing book that they loved so much. But when it comes to rating a children's book, in my opinion, you're rating it like for the kids. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? What is wrong? That's my question. What is wrong with this book that you've deducted 2 stars? It's short. It's a kid's book. It's literally for children. So that's what I mean when I'm saying let kids' books be for kids. If you read it and you enjoy it as an adult, that's cool. If you read it as an adult and you think, I would have liked this if I was 10, that's also cool. Okay, I know I'm getting heated about this, but this is really frustrating to me because there are children's book series that transcend the genre. For example, Narnia. I think that Narnia is like a book that all ages can enjoy because there's like a ton of symbolism and a ton of whatever, and the time period is interesting and the characters or whatever. There's a lot of characters. But that is for older kids, in my opinion, as well. Like nobody young, like people much younger can enjoy this book. These people are rating kids' books like they rate kids' movies. And I think those are totally different things. I think it's more in everyone's like interests that movies cater to the adults as well, because people want to watch movies together, and because it's only an hour and a half. It's only an hour and a half or 2 hours. They want to enjoy it together and have like a family thing when kids are young. But books are meant to be enjoyed by yourself. So why would you want your book to be like something that appeals to all ages? It doesn't need to appeal to all ages. It needs to interest a child and help them to read and help them to, use their imagination and help them to gain knowledge and help them to have fun. So anyway, I know it's not something that really I need to be getting angry about, but it frustrated me greatly when I saw the reviews of this. And I was having a jolly good time reading these. I still am, and I will continue to have a good time reading them. And I would recommend them. And if you have kids who are not quite old enough for some of the chapter books that you enjoy, then these are great books for them. You know, I like when a genre isn't trying to be anything else. One of the reasons why I often dislike young adult books is they feel like they want to be something different, which is regular adult. I like to read a book that's just that genre. It's not trying to transcend anything. It's just trying to be what it is. And these books are just trying to be what they are, and they're fun. Okay? So I recommend them. I think that everybody, honestly, I think everybody should take a break from their reading and read children's books sometimes. Like if my mother or my older siblings would have presented me with a host of books for my age group and my reading level, I think I would have been more interested in reading. Case in point, my sister did give me Spiderwick books for my birthday, and those were the first books that I had seen that were for my reading level, truly for my reading level, and I ate them up. And I thought it was so amazing, and I think she had read them right before or something, so she could talk to me about them. Maybe she read them at the same time. That was very meaningful to me as a kid, and I want to make that space for my kids. So, just doing my part. That's all I have to say about that. I hope you enjoyed it. One last thing I want to say is I've been getting some extremely nice comments lately. If anyone is still here, oh my gosh, thank you. I really appreciate it. Everyone is so nice. The first few videos I made, I got a lot of really weird comments. Like, really weird. So I just assumed they were bots or something. And then from then on, I've been thinking, everybody's just bots. Every single one of my subscribers is, like, probably a bot. Like, there's nobody who's actually watching this stuff beside, like, literally my husband. But no, people have been leaving very nice comments, and I am loving it. Absolutely, absolutely love it. It's so nice to hear somebody say something nice and meaningful about something that I made and something I said. So I really appreciate it. I'm loving making videos. I am in school. If you're wondering, she's making a lot more videos than she was before when she was in school. No, I am in school. I will be going out of town next week, so I won't be making any videos for a little while around that time. But I probably will be reading, so hopefully I'll be making videos after when I come back. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate every single one of you. You are very kind and sweet, and I hope that you all have amazing days. Until next time.